I've recently come across news articles with different opinions about Bill C-9, and as a Christian who stands for the truth and firmly against hate speech, I felt it necessary to give the details and reasoning a thorough objective look to clarify different views for everyone. Bill C-9 aims to target intimidation with the intention to provoke fear, with the goal to protect houses of worship, senior residences, and other vulnerable places. The Bloc Québécois agreed to support this bill on the terms that religious exemption gets removed from the bill, saying that religion could be used as a cover for promoting hate such as homophobia and anti-Semitism. Let me be clear. Democratic legal systems typically define hate speech as a willful promotion of hatred with harmful intent or reckless disregard that is likely to cause harm or violence. Quoting scripture is done to teach religious values and encourage faith, and when people misuse scripture with harmful intent, this fits the definition of abusing religious expression. Moreover, the scripture that I read warns about these individuals. Using the Bible for anti-Semitism is a perfect example of misusing scripture for harmful outcome. And this is why hate speech laws must target individuals with harmful intent and not criminalize sacred texts, especially if the religious focus is love. Let me clarify any potential assumptions of zealotry. This does not mean that religious people, or any individual for that matter, should be above the law. What I mean is that enforcement needs to be directed towards the individual. Targeting entire religions is unjust, and it undermines the bill's intent, which is to protect religious groups from oppression. Some critics point to ancient Israeli laws to claim that Christianity endorses violence, but Christian doctrine is clear about rejecting hate and violence for love, forgiveness, and salvation through faith by God's grace, no matter who you are. Using the Bible for hate speech goes against these values completely, and removing religious exemption in hate speech laws risks incriminating entire religious texts, which raises concerns of overbreadth and viewpoint discrimination. In my experience, applying Christian doctrine to my life has erased the vast majority of hateful thoughts from my conscience and made me more morally conscious. I hear similar testimonies on a regular basis, which is why it's important to discern individual intent and distinguish between individuals and communities. Here's the bottom line. Freedom of religion is at stake, and we must intelligently discern what people proclaim and defend the truth. It's most important to protect the public against violence, but an overbroad restriction on religious communities because of harmful misuse carried out by a few ill-meaning individuals would suppress religious expression and harm fundamentally crucial values of those entire communities. Let me know what you think of this downstairs in the comments, but please maintain respectful debate. We all have different views, which is a wonderful thing because of what we can learn from one another. So let's see what valuable wisdom we can exchange from discussing this important topic.